Hey guys, it's Dave. Thanks for watching as always. And fun fact, when you film during the day up here with the skylights behind you, it actually looks very bright. So sorry, you're going to have to bear with me on this one. Hopefully it's not too big of a distraction. I usually film a bit later in the day. But anyways, today I wanted to talk to you about just the overall markets, my own investing, and what I've been doing recently. I tend to make these videos every month or so, just talking about my own trades, and I think it's a little past due. So I wanted to share with you the latest trades I've made and just discuss the overall markets, maybe ask you guys what you've been doing in the markets. And yeah, just kind of a casual video. But before we dive into that, if it's your first time here and you enjoy this video, I do invite you to subscribe by the end of the video. And if it's not your first time here, every like does help with the algorithm, as always. Thank you so much for all the likes and subscriptions. Really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's dive into my latest trades and the overall markets. So yeah, with the overall markets lately, it just seems like kind of good news is bad news, but bad news is also bad news, funny enough. So if you get any sort of good news around jobs numbers, like maybe the unemployment is lower than was expected, somehow that's bad news because then the Fed might be more likely to raise rates more in the future. But on the other hand, if you get bad news like banks going under and stuff like that, that's also just bad news, and the stock market reacts negatively to that. So it's kind of like a lose-lose scenario lately. A little bit frustrating to see. I hope you guys have been doing okay with these markets, looking at it more like a buying opportunity and not getting frustrated or upset about the down days in the markets. It does look like we're seeing more and more people lately saying that they think the Fed is done raising interest rates. And personally, I really hope this is true. I would love it if the last interest rate was now behind us. And I think that could be a good catalyst for the markets going forward if at the next meeting the Fed elects to keep rates steady and releases some language that they might be finished raising rates. Does seem like things are headed in the right direction inflation-wise, and interest rates are definitely quite high for people paying mortgages and stuff like that out there. So we did see jobs growth totals were a little bit lower than expected. So this is kind of one of those things, well, I guess it's bad news, but in a strange way, is that good news or is that still bad news? Because we want jobs growth to be low for some reason, to be an indicator that inflation is low. Anyway, hopefully this could be a good thing in that we're less likely to see rates rise and we're on the right track with inflation. It's a very strange world out there right now. But yeah, this just came out as of today. Let me know what you think, if we're going to be seeing any more rate increases, if you think we should have more rate increases. Always interested to hear down in the comments below, and I'll check out all your responses. Now, for my first trade that I made over the last month or so, probably since the last time I made a video sharing my trades with you, I'll just go through a few of them. This one is kind of the craziest one, so it is a completely unnecessary trade to make, and it's also extremely risky, and I don't advise anyone to follow my footsteps on this one. I just thought it would be kind of fun. It's a very small amount of cash I'm spending, only $500. I've been watching Rocket Lab stock very closely for a while, and I just feel like this could be a good move. I like to make these trades kind of for fun almost. I never risk significant portions of my portfolio, but every now and then, maybe I'm a degenerate gambler at heart or something like that. I just kind of like to make a little fun options trade, see if I can get like a, almost a double or a quick turnaround on those just for fun. So this one, I thought it would be interesting for you guys, especially if you don't trade options very often, to watch along and see how it turns out, how the option goes versus how the underlying share price goes, because you will find that the stock option price is much more volatile than the actual stock price. It's a kind of, a derivative. So basically, we're buying a July 21st $4 call, and we're paying 50 cents for that. So basically, between now and July 21st, that's a little under 4 months we have, and I'm looking for Rocket Lab to have another bump. Looking at the stock lately, I feel like we've got some good support going on down the levels we're currently at, like 370-ish, 380. We don't seem to be breaking through. We've had good support several times bouncing off that level and several bumps up, although they are kind of decreasing in height. I hopefully, even if we see a little bump like to this level here, which would be around $4.50 or $5, we could make a decent return on this investment. Now, keep in mind that even though this is a July 21st expiration date, by no means do you have to hold this until July 21st. And in fact, the goal with this is to unload it well before July 21st, because I'm just looking for a bounce in the share price, and that would correspond to an even larger bounce in the options price. So the sooner the move, the quicker you can sell it for higher money potentially. And keep in mind as well that even though the potential cost price of this option is $4.50, if the stock goes up to $4.25 soon, you can still sell this for a gain even if it never gets to $4.50. So you don't necessarily need the price to be above $4.50 on July 21st to make a profit. That's kind of how these things work. So sometimes if you're new to options, that takes a little bit of getting used to. But basically, I'm just looking for some time within the next few months to have a decent little bounce in the stock. I feel like it's pretty likely. Look at how incredibly stable this stock has been for like a solid month. It's been pretty unprecedented. Going back, you almost never seen the stock being quite this flat. So I think it's very interesting, and we're probably due for a decent move here. I'm hoping to the upside, but we'll have to wait and see on that. I'll let you know in the future, though, when I do end up selling this option, how it goes. I think you guys might find it interesting. And then on the other end of things, I did sell some Rocket Lab puts a little while ago. I think I may have told you guys about these in the past, or at least I know I told the guys in the Discord about these ones. So I sold a $3 put for Rocket Lab April 21st as well. This means that I have to buy Rocket Lab for $3 should it go under $3. I think the probability of this is almost zero. So I'm very confident that I won't actually have to buy it for $3. But hey, if I did, very happy to pay under $3 for Rocket Lab. So if that did happen, then I would consider that a win as well. Kind of a win-win trade is how I look at these ones. So if it doesn't go below $3 by that date, I just get to keep the $100 commission, or I should say premium, from this trade. Another one, same date, a $4 put, a little more likely that this one could get triggered. I'd still put it maybe like 33% chance that I get put this one and have to buy it, but decent chance that we're still at $4 or above by April 21st. I know we're a little under there right now, but as I said, I feel like, we might have a bounce at some point. So when I made this trade, I received $352 for it. It's now worth negative $305, meaning I could buy it back for $305 and make a little under $50 right now. So I'm up on both of these right now, especially the top one. That's only at negative $7, so I could buy this back and come out ahead by $94 in the bottom one by $50. So far so good on those two trades. Trying to generate some income through these kind of options moves that I tend to make every month. Then I did a covered call on Shopify. A while back decided that I wanted to sell my Shopify shares, kind of just for the structure of my portfolio more than anything else, but I wanted to get at least $50 a share for them, which it was below at the time. So since then, I've just been selling covered calls on my Shopify at a $50 strike price. We can see we had a covered call that's just expired now. So I sold 8 of those, representing 800 shares. I received $600 for that option, which expired worthless, meaning I just get to keep the $600 because Shopify was not above $50 on this date. So now I'm just going to do it again because I'm just going to keep on doing it until eventually I sell the Shopify, and I just trying to, create some commissions in the meantime for portfolio balancing reasons. I want to put that money towards different things, but I at least want to get $50 and make some money off of it in the meantime. Next one now, because Shopify is a lot closer to $50 per share, I can actually get a lot more money for the option because it's more likely to get triggered. That means for this next one, we can see that as of just yesterday, the bid was 182, ask was 192, the last trade for this $50 call was 190, and that's for May 12th. So about a month out, I should be able to receive $1,520 for it. That's a pretty good chunk of change for a 1 month option. I'll be very happy with that. I'll be attempting to make that trade as soon as the markets open next week. And then I did sell a covered call on my Tesla shares as well. This is another one. I was put this stock a while back at a cost basis of about $250. I feel like I'd like to sell it for at least $270, so I'm agreeing to sell it for $270. 1 month in the future. I got $600 for this, minus a $4 commission. So I got about $595 overall. Value's already gone down on this one because Tesla has dropped since then. So it's looking a little unlikely that this will get triggered. I might just end up keeping my shares and keeping the 600. But once again, if it goes above 270 and I do have to sell these shares, more than happy to do that and take my profits because my cost basis on it was at $250. So I'm kind of making money on the premiums as well as making money on the underlying sale. One thing to keep in mind when you do this is that when you have earnings results released, that can have a big impact on share price. So if you're making these trades, you do want to check if the earnings date falls within this option trade, which in this case it does. The Q1 results are going to be on the 19th. Well within the end date of that. So we could see a big move on the 20th or the 19th, and big moves to follow. So just keep that in mind. Even though right now it's looking unlikely to get triggered, there's always that chance there's big results. Shareholders for Tesla on this earnings call in particular will be looking for their margins. They did recently lower their prices, and a lot of people are curious how good their margins are going to be at these lower prices. If they can maintain some good margins, 20% plus, maybe 21, 22, the stock could have a big move there. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But again, I will be very happy with this trade either way. So just to sum up what I've done here, we've had covered calls on Tesla for 600, Shopify. I'm going to do one on the market open for hopefully about 15-20. We sold puts for Rocket Lab for 454. That is a total of $2,574. We'll see if I end up having to sell any of these underlying stocks or if I'll just get the full amount for free. I always like it when I get the full amount for free, but it's a rolling strategy. I've spoken about my wheel strategy before. There is a previous video on it if you want to dive through my backlog and check it out and get a greater understanding of the underlying strategy behind these trades. And then, of course, I just have my YOLO fun trade here of Rocket Lab, hoping it's going to have a nice bump sometime in the next 4 months. If it does, I should be able to get a good return. If not, I stand to lose the entire investment, $500, highly risky, but that's why I'm doing it with a small amount, kind of for fun. I still have my main Rocket Lab position that I don't want to touch. I want to keep those shares for the long term. This is kind of just like a fun trade on the side to see what happens, and I'll be sure to let you guys know as well. So that's it for me today. Let me know down in the comments below what trades you've made over the last month. I'm always interested to hear, especially if it's around the space industry or not. I'm interested in other companies as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. I hope you have a great long weekend. I hope you have a great day off work, and I will see you next week.